You know what? It is hard to eat healthy, especially when you're on the go.
Meal planning can help, but sometimes that's tough too. Nutritionist Dana White is here with some meal planning tips and ideas. Dana, I really want to be able to do this, and every week I say I'm going to do it, and then sometimes I just don't.
I get it. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Listen, I know. I think the task is more daunting than it actually is to just make a little bit of a plan. So hopefully I have some ideas to share today.
Yeah, let's get to them. I'm excited.
Okay, so this is my meal plan mission control. This is usually how I set up about once a week when I'm trying to decide what to make. So my first tip, if you're completely new to meal planning, definitely start with dinners. But I actually find that actually doing breakfast, lunches, and dinners, because, you know, with 3 kids, it's actually really helpful. But either way, you have to write it down. Right now, I know this is too small for you guys to see, but basically this is just a little laminated paper that you can use as like a whiteboard and just map out some things to make for the week. All right. And I like to come up with themes. Say that again?
Did you buy that or make it?
This I made. I just designed it, printed it, and went over to my, my local office shop, and I just laminated it, and that's it.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, like, I like to, just to give myself a place to start, I'll usually say, okay, one night is going to be vegetarian, right? One night will be seafood. Of course, in my house, one night is always going to be pizza. And then, the other night we might play around a bit. Or if I know that, if you know in your household that you have what's the busiest night of your week, then that's the night that you're rather just going to do takeout, or you're going to pull something from the freezer or throw it in the slow cooker because you're just not going to have time.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. All right. So we're going to get started with dinners. That'll be less daunting.
Yes. Right. And if you want to get the kids involved, here's my idea. Now, I am not a crafty person, and this just goes to show that you don't have to be. But this is a big hit with my kids. So you just take a piece of paper and you write a couple of different dinner ideas on there. All right. Then you find something in your house that you can turn into a spinner, right? So even something from a board game in the closet. And you just go ahead and you spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on is what your kid's choice is going to be for dinner. And then they're involved. They're going to be a lot more likely to eat it because that was their pick of the week. So that's just another thing that you can do to make it a little bit more fun to get everybody involved.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
I did this one week, and I have to say, I need to keep up with it, but I did one week, and I have to say the stress of coming home and knowing, like, oh, wait, I already know we're having this. And then if it's on the list in the morning, you can maybe grab something and set it out so it's defrosted or whatever. Like, it does take the stress out of life.
Completely, right? And then that's why I like doing it, especially for breakfast as well. And again, we're not talking anything fancy, like here's a bagel, here's a waffle. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but then I don't get all the questions. What's for breakfast? What's for dinner? What's for breakfast? You just go and look because I wrote it down, right? So that actually takes some stress off of everybody.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well,
anything else you have to tell us before we have to let your wisdom go?
Yeah, so I also put together a list of some of my favorite meal preppers on Instagram, okay? So if you're looking for inspiration, as many of us are, I've included, so every Monday, I'll post this out for everybody to see. So at my Instagram page, I'll post this in both my posts and my stories, so it can maybe help give you some inspiration, but also holds me accountable for my meal plan. And there's some other great meal preppers, on Instagram as well. So just a couple, there's one called the Family Freezer, and she makes all make-ahead freezer meals.
Okay.
And she'll give you shopping lists and all kinds of stuff.
Dana, we're out of time, but we will tell people to follow you on Instagram so they can follow those folks. Thank you so much.
Sounds great. Bye-bye.
And there she is, at Dana White Nutrition. Go give her a follow.
At Dana White Nutrition.